I'm Nicolette Krogsalmi.
So my full name is Mesara Sikkar.
My name is Xuanyi Zhang.
So my name is Xin Ying.
So my name is Viet Tran.
My name is Caitlin.
Okay, my name is Wendy Zhang.
So my name is Anjani.
I'm Smiling.
It actually means autumn. So my birthday is in September. So when I was born, it was during Mid-Autumn festivals.
So the name is actually my grandfather's name. He is also called Mesara. And when I was born, my dad wanted to name me after him.
My parents are both like really Scandinavian, so they wanted a Scandinavian name for me. And they thought I was a boy. They just had a hunch that I was going to be a boy. So my name was supposed to be Nikolai, which is definitely more Scandinavian. But then obviously they wanted to give me a female name. So then they kind of just changed the ending.
Before I went to high school in America, I picked an English name just because I feel like it's more convenient or it's better for foreign American teachers or professors to pronounce it.
So generally people call me not my full name Mesara, but my nickname Miso. Because Mesara, as I've experienced, is quite a heavy.
I don't know why, but I think my name is like so valuable and meaningful. I want people to know like, oh, I am Xuanyi. And if they cannot pronounce my name correct in like our first meeting, I can like use my like personal like features, characteristics, and maybe to create some memory.
If you pronounce my name in Shen in Chinese, so if you call me like Ying Shen, it's like it has a similar pronunciation to invisible in Chinese. So at that time, I just had a lot of not that good experience that people just mispronouncing my name or they just make jokes about my name.
There was a point in life, especially middle school, I was embarrassed by my Chinese name because of how whenever teachers would take attendance, they were always stuck on my name. You know, they're like, how do you pronounce this? Or they would pronounce it really weirdly. It just made me feel very awkward.
I came to America when I was 7 years old, and I just like, I don't know, everyone always like, oh, where do you get that name? And then this and that, and it was always a story whenever I met someone. I don't know. So like, at first I almost changed it a while for a little bit too, but I kind of just grew into it.
When I was 10 years old, I got this kind of chronic blood disease. And so in Chinese culture, we have this belief that like if something like bad happens to you, you can kind of partially attribute it to your name instead of like completely attributing it to your kind of family history, your genetic, like what you got from your parents, and also like other kind of stuff like environmental effects or nutrition, things like that. Yeah, so in order to kind of obtain a good fortune again, this time my mom found like another expert in naming and tried to recalculate everything and to make sure that they are in kind of accurate, precise, and calculating the right strokes, basically. Yes, and my mom, like after like consulting that expert, and they kind of gave me a list about 10 to 20 names that had this kind of correct strokes of Chinese character. And this time my parents did not like choose one for me. They think that, oh, I am now like back to that time, I was at the age of 10 to 12, and I'm going to kind of undergo the transformation from like a child to a teenager. So they think that I should like have this opportunity, and I possess this ability to choose the name for my own.
I mean, I don't think it's a hard name to pronounce. I think it's kind of like phonetically, I think it makes sense. But a lot of like either professors or students just shorten my name kind of. I mean, Nicole just annoys me a little bit, but like it's like a bit, it feels a bit like odd for them to like informally refer to you as something that you haven't like explicitly said that you are okay with. I don't know. I think it's a bit strange to be like referred to in my department by like a nickname that I like haven't shared with them. But yeah.
Pronunciation. I grew up with people mispronouncing my name all the time. And like eventually, like I think once I got into like middle school or high school, people started calling, I have started like letting people call me Angie just because it's easier. So I always do. I always correct it because like I've never like let somebody like keep mispronouncing my name, you know. I always correct them because I like it. It's pretty, you know. Sounds very fancy to me. There was a point in middle school though where I did want to change my name.
Why?
I don't know. I just felt like it sounded aggressive. Maybe it just sounded aggressive with my last name. So it just didn't flow as nice.
So the instance of I had a professor at BU who called on me a lot in lecture, and he had like my name printed out, and he would always call me Nicole. And I wasn't allowed to like go in front of like 120 people and be like, that's not my name. But it was very, I felt inconsiderate to just, I mean, he could read it, but I felt like it was very inconsiderate to not like make an effort. I have a lot of professors who will be like, do you go by anything else, or how do you pronounce this, and like correct me if I'm doing it wrong. But I guess in big lecture halls, I will not correct professors if they mispronounce it. Airplane hostesses always mispronounce my name, and that I don't say anything, but it feels very aggressive. Like boarding a plane and they mess up my first and last name, it just sounds very like grating on the ears. But I'm not gonna like argue with like a hostess. So most of the time I feel like I don't say anything, unless it's like someone who I see in my personal life that would start to annoy me on like a regular basis. I mean, not in the way that like other people struggle with like names, and it's more like I feel like because it's Scandinavian, which is like more common in the US, it's not like a microaggression. It's just kind of especially like an international student, it's like a bit like lazy for them to like not like learn how to actually pronounce your name, just kind of go with whatever suits them. So I wouldn't think of it as a microaggression, just kind of shows how if you don't have an American sounding name, they're very quick to like kind of make it fit with them rather than like learn how to pronounce it.
When you have a longer name, that's a lot heavier. Heavier really is a word I've come to use a lot for this. That's a lot heavier. It's a lot easier to kind of just deliberately mispronounce it, to use someone else as kind of a blunt instrument. Which more often than not is somewhat funny, I hate to say. But it's also very easy to retaliate from it because you can just mispronounce the other person's name. And they don't really have an answer for that.
But tonight, there are no losers, for we are all winners.
Names are everywhere. They're omnipresent and inescapable. Not just a personalized tag, but something which relates us to one another's deeply rich complexes.
As our societies become more hyper-partisan and atomistic, we turn to them for our self-worth and sense of belonging.
Instead of looking to mispronounce, microaggress, and profile, let us celebrate our cross-cultural differences and learn to hoist one another.
So from the name game, take what you will, but remember this: our names only mean what we want them to.
However, they will always have their own story, and let me tell you, it's a story worth telling.